Alrighty, welcome to episode 10 of the Ginger and
Soul Podcast. Today is a really special episode. We are fired up because the 2022 Grammy nominations have officially been dropped, and there's a lot we like. This is probably their best list in years, but it's still the Grammys, and there's still a lot wrong with it. So we'll go over what they got right, what they got wrong, what we think should be on there, and who we think they'll pick, and who we think should win. So we'll break it all down for you on the Grammy preview show here at the Ginger and Soul Podcast. There's a lot to discuss. We'll be going over not every category, but just the ones that matter to us. Stuff like Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Hip Hop Album of the Year, Hip Hop Song of the Year. We'll break it all down on the Ginger and Soul Podcast. So let's get started. What do you want to talk about first here?
Yeah, let's start with, we'll go hip hop and then we can work our way to the overall categories.
Yeah, and let's talk R&B as well.
Yeah, and we could talk R&B as
and
well.
pop, yeah.
Yeah, R&B and pop, yeah, exactly. So yeah, best rap. So we have best rap performance and best rap song. Best rap performance, definitely wasn't a big fan of the nominations in this category. Family Ties isn't even a good song, so I don't know why that's on there.
Facts.
Up with Cardi B. I can understand that she did a good performance on that song because it's high energy.
What kind of performance would that have been?
Yeah.
So why don't you break down this category real quick? Because I actually don't understand what this award even means. I've never understood what this award means.
Yeah, so I think with best rap performance, it's focused more on the vocal side of things. So the actual performance of the artist as far as vocals and lyrics, I believe. But let's be honest, it's just a bullshit category, right? I mean, because...
Yeah, because what kind of lyrics are on Thought Shit and Way Too Sexy? I'm not entirely sure here. So this is... I mean, these songs are all kind of messy. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah,
I guess the theme here is they're all fun and high energy. But
yeah, except for really My
like
Life, not really, right? I mean, My Life doesn't really fit into the other four songs. Which My Life, it's okay. It's one of the better songs on that album, but I don't think that anyone was really talking about that song when it came out, other than the first few nights that the album was out. So, in Way Too Sexy, even though I enjoy the song, I just think that it's not that amazing of a performance. I mean, I don't know who tears up the music video is great, but I feel like who has the best verse on my Way Too Sexy? I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Thought Shit. I actually don't mind Megan Thee Stallion, but again, it's...
I'd call myself a Megan Thee Stallion fan, but that song is absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's not even a bad album. And if anyone followed the American Music Awards, which are kind of a joke, she did win. I think she won Rap Album of the Year, even though that album came out last year. Good news. So I don't think it's a bad album necessarily, but that was kind of a weird choice.
Yeah.
And that song is probably one of the worst songs on that album.
Yeah, my prediction, I think they'll give it to Thought Shit. What do you think?
I just don't really know enough about this category, honestly. I feel like maybe they'll give it to where'd it go? Maybe I'm probably between Family Ties and My Life, just because maybe they feel there's some deeper meaning there. And this is probably Kendrick's only chance to get a Grammy, and they'll probably want to give it to him. Because I feel like, and we'll see this later on, I feel like the Grammys are trying to rebuild their image a little bit, so they're going for a lot of big names. let's move on to best rap song because I think this is actually pretty bad. Um, Best Friend is on
Yeah,
here. I didn't even know who this was by at first, and it's the Sweetie Doja Cat song. This song is pretty weak, I'm not gonna lie, and it's definitely not. I don't even consider it a rap song. I consider it more of a pop song. What do you think about the inclusion of this one?
yeah, Best Friend is definitely the most obnoxious song that has been on the radio this year, for sure. I mean, it is
Yeah,
really a terrible song. I mean, I get the song. I'm sure that the song, bangs in the club for the ladies, but it is actually terrible. I mean, I think Thought Shit's a way better song than Best Friend. So I don't know why Best Friend is on there instead of a Megan Thee Stallion song, because Best Friend is just annoying. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm with you. I have no idea why bath salts is on here either. That just doesn't even make sense.
yeah, Bath
Are they
Salts was
just trying to
super
honor
disappointing.
DMX? Maybe like I don't.
I
That song doesn't even have 5 million views on Spotify. I mean, that it just doesn't belong.
Yeah, Bath Salts is definitely was super underwhelming when I first heard it. It's not the best of Jay Z and Nas.
No,
So yeah, um, Family
and then we talk.
Ties. Yeah, we
Yeah,
already
we
talked
talked
about
about
Family
Family
Ties.
Ties.
Yeah,
It's just not that good of a song. I guess it's on here because it was so popular, so I can kind of see it. I don't get why Jail is on here at all. If we're looking at Donda, is this even the
it's
most
off the
popular song
grid.
on Donda?
Off the grid needs to be the song from Donda on there, because 5 Year
No,
has the verse of
no,
the
no,
year,
Hurricane.
or
Why
Hurricane.
wasn't Hurricane on? Yeah, Hurricane.
Yeah,
Off the Grid is a good song too. But there's so many other songs they could have used if you're gonna pick a song off Donda. And then like I mean if it's my list, I'm putting Knife Talk and Avalanche on there. They have to be on there. Not related to Kanye at all. Those are just two bangers I like. Time Today. Um, but the problem with Song of the Year is there's so many songs that come out every year and it's a little subjective. But I just think that these choices are kind of strange. Like the only one that even makes sense to me is Family Ties because it's popular. Um,
yeah,
the other
yeah.
ones just
How
like are kind of
does
weird.
Yeah, and if the Grammys are trying to do, like, I don't understand. It's like you put the Megan Thee Stallion in best rap performance, and then um you put both the Megan Thee Stallion and the Cardi B in best rap performance. But I feel like both of those songs were probably way bigger hits than Bath Salts. So I don't know
Yeah.
how I don't know how you think that that's the move. Um,
And no Drake songs when he's easily the most popular hip hop artist of the whole entire year. I mean,
Yeah, I wonder if he
that doesn't make
sent
sense
in.
either.
I wonder if he sent in the song with Dirk that was banging like all year before Drake
That
put
was
out his
yeah,
album.
that should have definitely been on there. Wants and Needs, or I think it was called. Um,
No, that
that's
was
a
the one with
banger.
little. That was the one with Little Baby. There was the one that was big the whole year. It's where he did the video in the Nike
Oh,
facility.
Laugh Now, Cry Later. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
good one. He had so many huge songs this year, and to not be included in this category is kind of weird. Even if you want to say, even if the Grammys feels like Certified Lover Boy wasn't the best album, I mean, Drake is easily the most popular hip hop artist the entire year, and to not have any
yeah,
songs by him feels kind of strange. Um, so I don't know. What are some of your favorite songs from this year in terms of hip hop? I was kind of scrolling through my Spotify stats today, so I was able to come up with a couple.
yeah. I mean, I definitely a lot of the songs off of Moneybag Yo's "A Gangster Pain." I really enjoy. It's hard to choose um, what song exactly, but that whole album I really enjoy. I spent a lot of time listening to the Dirk and Baby album, Voice of the Heroes, um,
Mm.
and then obviously on Drake's album, there's Poppy's Home, there's TSU, there's really good songs off that album, um, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, none of these songs are the songs that I'm listening to the most. from this
Yeah, no, I
year.
don't listen to I don't listen to any of these. For me, the hip hop song of the year has to be Avalanche. I listen to that song a lot. Like just my
Yeah,
Spotify stats are
yeah,
like, yeah, this song is your number one, and nothing is really that close. um, and then, but I mean, I'm trying to like when I thought of this category, I'm like, all right, I want a banger that I listen to a lot, but a song that's also just popular. Like a song with 5 million views is not the song of the year. It just can't. It, like that doesn't make sense. Like you know what I mean? Like unless you're
yeah.
trying to give a tribute to DMX, which would be the only reason that would be there. But it's like it has to have a lot of views in my opinion. So like that's why Time Today would be a good one. Avalanche is fair game. Um, Knife Talk or any song off Certified Lover Boy would fit. My Life, I guess, is actually pretty understandable. I kind of forget. It's just a forgettable song. You could have picked 4 or 5 different songs off Donda that were better than Jail, but that's fine. So, all
Yeah.
right, I think we've spent enough time on this topic here. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, the one that is going to be most debated on the internet, and the one that we care about the most as hip hop fans, the best rap album of the year. The nominees for this are The Off Season by J. Cole, Certified Lover Boy by Drake, King's Disease 2 by Nas, Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler the Creator, and Kanye West's Donda. So, before we get into it, what did you think of this list?
Yeah, I think the list is pretty decent. I love. I think King's Disease. I'm a big Nas fan. I've always been watching Nas' career, every album, and the past decade for Nas has been pretty disappointing with album releases. And
Yeah.
King's Disease won last year, which was I thought I didn't understand how that was Nas's first Grammy for that album because I didn't think that album was Grammy worthy. But then King's Disease 2 came out, and this album is amazing. So I think they should have switched places as far as which one would got nominated. Um, Call Me If You Get Lost. I think it's a really good album. I'm surprised I haven't listened to it more during the year though, because I'm a big. I really do enjoy Tyler the Creator, especially ever since Flower Boy era. But for some reason with this album, I actually haven't been going back to it that much. The albums that I've gone back to the most are definitely probably Donda and CLB. And then J. Cole is probably the album I've gone. The off season is probably the album I've actually gone back to the least. When it first came out, I was really enjoying it, um, and I was like, oh, this is a great album. But to be honest, I just haven't really gone much back to it. I don't think it has that great replayability factor for a lot of the songs on here. So I definitely think that there's like other albums you could have put to replace that, especially um, when the crazy thing about best rap this list is that other than Drake and Kanye West, the artists who are have been the most influential in the culture are not like on here. Like, how do you not have? How is there no like Little Baby or Little Dirk nominations anywhere in the best
Yeah,
rap category?
Lil Baby had a huge year. Yeah, it's kind of strange that he wasn't included. I'm not even a
Yeah,
big Lil Baby fan, but like it is kind of strange that he was just left off entirely.
yeah. I mean, I get that these are the biggest rap artists, except for like Nas. I don't think Nas is doing like Little Dirk or Little Baby numbers. I don't know, but yeah. So go ahead with your take on it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up last year because I thought last year was like almost the death of the Grammys. Like that's how bad that list was. I was stunned. Like there were so many great albums last year, and the 4 that they picked was just I was stunned. Like and I think you brought up that Nas has never won a Grammy. It's like that's crazy, and and to me that like that album King's Disease like I'm sorry like if we're hanging out with our friends or whatever we're not gonna be like yo put on King's Disease bro give me that new Nas baby like no he's been done for like at least 15 years in my opinion and it's just like and no offense to him he's one of the greatest rappers of all time but like to to give him that award was just like to make up for the past 20 years of just snubbing him, in my opinion. And
Mm.
I think this year included. I haven't really listened to that album that much, to be fair. So maybe I'll go check it out just because, I don't want to like be disrespectful. I do enjoy Nas. Not as big a Nas fan as you, but I do enjoy him a lot as well. But I think this is one of their best lists in a long time because I think, I think there's three that have to be on there, Donda, Certified Lover Boy, for sure. But I did enjoy the off season, and I'm with you. It's forgettable. Like, you don't always go back to it, but like, I think it's good enough to make the cut, like to be in the top 5 rap albums of the year. I think that's pretty fair. And they expanded the list to
Mm.
5 instead of the usual 4. Um, so yeah, I think the list is okay. I think there's 2 albums that don't belong. But I am super biased because I do not enjoy Tyler the Creator very much. So I did like one song on this album, but that's because of Brent Faiyaz. Sweet, I think it was. Um, that song's a banger. Um, so I get why Tyler's on there. Um, I guess they're doubling down on Nas. Unless the album's really good, you believe King's Disease 2 is really worthy.
Yeah, King's Disease 2 is a really good album. Like Hit Boy and Nas have definitely found their flow together.
He's a great
Hit Boy's
producer.
on a roll right now.
Yeah,
And
he's
yeah,
great.
King's Disease 2 is 10 times better than King's Disease 1. So it's definitely interesting that I mean, because Nas isn't going to win the Grammy this year for sure. Um,
No, they've decided who's going to win it. You could see. We'll get
yeah.
into that a little later. But I think there were 2 snubs. I think you're going to agree with one. You've already brought it up, and you're going to strongly disagree with the other. So I would take King's Disease 2 and Call Me If You Get Lost off this list. And I would add Gangsta's Pain by Moneybagg Yo. I think we both agree there.
Oh
Banging
yeah.
album. And I would put Culture 3 on there over either King's Disease or Call Me If You Get Lost, or even Off Season. Honestly, I love that album. I don't care what anyone says. I know there's a lot of haters of the Migos because they're so amazing and only make bangers. That's fine. So that'd be my list. I'd kick those 2 albums off. Get Tyler out of here. What do you what do you think of that take, first of all, and then what album would you take off, if any?
I like the obviously I think a Gangster's Pain should probably win best album. That's a really great album.
Do you think
Uh,
that was a snub
yeah,
from the list?
I mean they were never going to give it to him because like nobody
Right.
that's going to watch the Grammys knows who Moneybagg Yo is, but um, Culture 3 I just haven't listened to since it came out, to be honest. It's weird because it just I can't I honestly am like, oh yeah, that was like 2021. Like that album did come out this
Yeah, it
year.
was the beginning. Yeah. I've listened to it so much, dude. It's sickening.
It's crazy, but I would take the off season off if I had the choice.
Wow.
um,
Hate
I
it.
think that Cole's gonna have a big album after the off season because I think he's working on a thing where he's like putting out his last like 2 albums after this. And I think those albums are going to be a lot bigger than the off season was. But
I
yeah, it
don't
would have
know.
been if they put on if they. I think I also think that Voice of the Heroes is like a good candidate to be on this list as
Mhm.
well. Because I think that was a really solid album and it had like 2 of the biggest artists of the year collaborating on it. But again, you can't nominate a Little Dirk, right? Because there's just too much controversy surrounding Little Dirk, like if a guy's friends, are getting murked by the dozens every single year, you're not gonna put his face, as the face of the Grammys.
Yeah.
But I mean, because
I think
no
that's yeah.
nominations, what, dude? And
Yeah.
Baby Keem is nominated. What?
And he dropped that song or he dropped that album like not that long ago. Like
Yeah,
it feels like it came out only a few weeks ago.
yeah, and nobody even knew who the fuck Baby Keem was until the album came out.
Because of Kendrick. That's the only
Yeah,
reason people know who he is now. I think that's gonna be the hip hop heads' main gripe. the Reddit boards and all the social media, people are gonna be like, "Where's Voice of the Heroes? Little Baby got snubbed." So I think you definitely made a pick the fans are gonna agree with for sure. With that one, and I think Against His Pain is clearly a snub. If you haven't listened to it, definitely one of the best rap albums of the year. So we'll get into the album of the year nominations in a little bit, but you think, well, of this list, who do you think should win it? Of who's on here?
Um, um, I think that you can give it to Kanye, and I'd be happy with it.
Right.
I think that like Donda, I think it's a respectable choice to for Donda to win it. I think that Kanye probably had the biggest year as far as just um overall like overarching impact. I mean, just with the album rollout, mixed with the beef with Drake, I guess Kanye did kind of overshadow a lot of headlines, and the album was still like really good at that. And also, the album has like everyone in the industry on it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard for me to see Donda losing unless they just don't want Kanye to go on stage, which could easily be a possibility
That could be the
if they
case.
don't and if they don't want to deal with Kanye, then they probably give it to Tyler. I would see that they probably do that, but I think that Certified Lover Boy should get it over Call Me If You Get Lost. But I could see that if Donda doesn't get it, I could easily see them giving it to Tyler. Because did you see his performance at the he had a performance at like the AMAs recently. He's been performing at like every single award show, so I feel like
Mm.
they're definitely trying to push this.
Yeah, and they
Weird,
gave it to him
yeah,
for Igor. Yeah.
yeah, weird to okay, so not weird because Little Nas X's album is on the best albums, right?
It's not considered a hip hop album now.
Yeah, okay,
I think that's
yeah,
why. I think Certified Lover Boy is easily the album of the year. It was my album of the year
mm,
going in. Album of the year. Sorry, we'll get into that later. Don't want to spoil that.
mm-hmm,
Best. I think I'll say it again. We cut that first out. Certified Lover Boy to me is the best hip hop album of the year, easily.
mm,
Whether depending on whatever nominees there are, I think your point about Donda is well taken in that he did have everyone on the industry album on it, but Drake had the exact same features, and I just think no one had a bigger year than Drake. Maybe Lil Baby, and it's weird because you're the Drake stan of the two of us, so I figured to be like, oh, Drake wipes, and then I'd come in and agree, but it's fine. I'll I'll I'll
I think I
hold it
just want to be
down for us.
I think I just want to be I think I just want to be right here. You know, I like guessing these things
Yeah,
right.
and we'll get into it a little bit, but it's clear that that Donda has been selected to win Rap Album of the
Yeah,
Year. Like, because spoiler alert, none of these other four albums were nominated for Album of the Year, just Donda. So it'd be
yeah.
kind of strange if they consider Donda an Album of the Year candidate, and none of the four other albums are an Album of the Year candidate. And then some other album other than Donda wins it. It's like, well, then why is Donda album of the year? Wouldn't it be whatever album you picked? So yeah, I just think Drake that this album's and it's just a really good album. You know, I mean, it's hard to look past the
Mhm,
artwork and some of the memes and how weird,
mhm.
way too sexy, and Girls Want Girls are. Those are two really strange songs that like are the two most popular. But like once you get past the bullshit, there's some really good stuff on here. Um, no Friends in the Industry slaps, and a bunch of other songs slap too. I love Knife Talk, and there's just a lot of good stuff on there, man. So I just love the album
Mhm.
and the year Drake had. So I think it's my pick for best rap album of the year for sure. Let's
Mhm.
quickly talk about the R&B and pop portions. Let's start with pop album of the year. Or I'm sorry, let me pull it up. So we don't need to talk about the performances. So they call it best traditional pop vocal. Oh no, sorry, best pop vocal
Vocal
album is how they
album, yeah,
phrase it.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I believe all these albums. Oh no, one of them is not nominated for album of the year, and that's Positions by Ariana Grande. Um, which I actually think is a good album, and I do not like Ariana Grande at all. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that album had some bangers, no doubt. So I think this is their best list. So for the listeners, Justin Bieber's Justice got nominated along with Planet Her by Doja Cat, Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish, William Eyelash, and then positions by Ariana Grande and Olivia Rodrigo's Sour. This feels like a pretty accurate list of the biggest pop albums of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. I don't know. I mean, Justin Bieber. I guess he had that Peaches song, but is that Yummy
That song's
song
a
on this
banger.
album? Is that Yummy song on this album? Because I fucking hated that song.
That song was really bad. I don't think it was, and this album was really weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot, and there was a big controversy because he had some like weird MLK shit on here as well. If you remember, I know this album came out a long time ago. Um, but yeah, Peaches is a banger, and there's kind of a lot of forgettable songs on here. Oh, Lonely's on here too. Um, that song is so bad. Um,
Yeah, it's like
but
Bieber,
yeah, I
shut the
mean,
fuck up, dude. Like we don't give a fuck.
lonely.
I'm a fucking Canadian. It's fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I'm not a Justin Bieber fan, so I believe there's a lot of garbage on here. But I'll give props to Peaches. What do you think about
I like Peaches.
that album and the
I
rest of
like
these?
I think Positions is there was definitely a few songs on there that I liked.
I
Um,
love that album.
Happier Than Ever I didn't listen to, so I can't really comment on it.
That
Doja
just felt
Cat,
like a safe pick. Yeah,
yeah, Doja Cat, I love that summer song, Kiss Me More. That's my shit. Um,
there's a lot of bangers on that album. The more I
yeah,
kind of look through it, because I make my own list as well, so I had that for in consideration. I didn't
yeah.
realize they'd expand album of the year to 10
And
this
then
year, so that made it easier.
Olivia Rodrigo is low key huge. I mean, my little sisters love Olivia Rodrigo. I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
listened to some of that album, and I actually do like a few of the songs on there. It's a little like angsty, but whatever. It is who it
She's so
is.
popular that like it'd be weird not to include her when she just dominated the charts the entire year. And it's like like that just wouldn't make sense. Like Billie
Yeah,
Eilish was more of a safe pick, and the
I
other
think
three
with this we
belong.
got to look at who is, because I think one of these people is going to win obviously best pop vocal album, so that's going to be second place to best album of the year because I think one of these people is probably winning
Ooh,
album of the year. So it's probably, I don't know, that maybe they give it to like Doja Cat, they just throw her the bone for like best pop vocal album, and then like Olivia
yeah.
Rodrigo just wins like best out like album of the year, right?
Yeah, they usually go really edgy with album of the year. That's what Eminem talked about in his song because it actually happened
Mm,
to him a few times.
mm,
Like he'd win hip hop album of the year, they throw him that bone, and then like he's like nominated with a bunch of people no one's ever heard of for album of the year. It's like, oh,
yeah,
he'll wipe that, and then
yeah,
and then they give it to some no name, and then Eminem's like, I'm not going to the Grammys ever again.
yeah.
So that feels like that feels like a smart choice. I actually was thinking of the Billie Eilish album for that when you brought up that bone, but I feel like Doja Cat, Woman of Color, um,
Yeah.
probably do. And the more you look at this album, there's just like banger after banger on it, and like Billie Eilish's album. I don't know. I'm not a fan of her, but I see why she's on here and why she's popular. I just think she's a little edgy for me. Not really my
Yeah.
style,
I don't
but
know. Were there as many popular songs for this Billie Eilish album as the last one? Because I don't know if I know about any.
it didn't feel that way. Didn't feel that way. There's still some pretty like looking at the streaming numbers, some pretty successful songs. I think people kind of just forgot how popular Ariana Grande's album was, and it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
she did have a really popular album. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, you're right. Olivia Rodrigo is definitely the favorite for album of the year. So let's quickly talk about R&B. Um, Such an underrated genre. Um, and I like what the Grammys did for the best R&B songs. Yeah.
Mm.
And it's weird that Silk Sonic, like maybe it just came out too late. I feel like because they waited so long. Like, but all the songs
Hmm.
from it are nominated, or all the singles, excuse me, are nominated, and like not really
Mm.
the album. I guess because they dropped it too late. So for best R&B song, um, trying to think. Oh, I like the best R&B performance better, so let's talk about that. I don't know this first one, "Lost You" by Snow Allegra. I've heard of her. Maybe I'll check it
Mm.
out. I think she's from London. Sorry if I'm a casual, I guess. Peaches, obviously, great song. Although I guess this is more of a pop song, but Peaches, we talked about it, is a banger. Damaged by her, well deserved. Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic, that will definitely win it. And Pick Up Your Feelings by Jasmine Sullivan. She's been kind
Yeah,
of underground for a minute, and I'm happy to see her on the list. So,
yeah, you're
what
definitely
do you think of
more.
these choices?
You definitely know more about modern R&B than I do. I'm still kind of stuck in other eras, but I do listen to some of these people sometimes, and it's weird that they put best R&B song. Well, I guess that's not weird. So they put "Givey" on for Heartbreak Anniversary and best R&B song. So I guess that makes sense. Best, but it's weird because for best R&B performance, it's like, did Justin Bieber perform "Peaches" better than
Yeah, I
Giveon
just like
performed
I
"Heartbreak
like the list
Anniversary"?
better. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get
Yeah,
best R&B song is like worse.
yeah. With
um,
best R&B performance, I guess it makes sense that "Peaches" is on there because they do have Daniel Caesar and Giveon on there. Um, I
they're
guess
not
I'm
but they're the
sure
worst part of the song.
I would say that Silk Sonic wins, but then Leave the Door Opens on best R&B song, so they have to win either one of those.
Yeah, they'll split it. Yeah, they'll split it
Yeah,
up
so maybe
for sure.
Peaches gets best R&B performance, and then like best R&B song goes to either Leave the Door Open or Heartbreak Anniversary. I think.
Hmm,
Um,
interesting.
we'll see,
Yeah. All right, so
but
let's go over best R&B album real quick. It's pretty much the names we just named. Snow Allegra's album is here. Now the weird one, and we'll get into this later, is John Batiste's album. And if you guys aren't familiar, John Batiste is the in charge of the music on the Colbert Show on CBS, which also airs the Grammys. So a little suspicious, but that's fine. Um, Happy to see Leon Bridges on here. Gold Digger Sound. I haven't listened to this album yet, but always happy to see him on. Back of My Mind by her, and Hotels by Jasmine Sullivan. Um, if I'm picking, Back of My Mind by her is one of the most underrated and arguably the best albums of the entire year. Um, I think they may have nominated it. They also nominated for Album of the Year, so it'll probably win, kind of like how we thought Donda was. So that's my. We can move off this genre now and get into the big categories. Let's start with. Is there a difference between Song of the Year and Record of the Year, real quick?
there's
There
Song of the
is.
Year. Yeah, I think
Record of the Year
record.
is more roastable.
Yeah,
And
I
Song of
think.
the Year is like better. But anyway, go ahead.
Which one's the bigger one? Is it song? Is record of the year bigger than song? I feel like song of the year is bigger, right? Like as far as media goes.
Yeah. I'm with
Okay,
you.
so let's
Let's
just go
let's talk
song of the
about that
year.
because Record of the Year was kind of a lot of trash options. And like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like we're like, why is ABBA on there? No one's listened to ABBA in like 40 years. Um, all right, so Song of the Year. There's some good choices here and some questionable ones. None of the choices I think we really listen to, but that's okay. Um, so Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran, certified banger. A Beautiful Noise by Alicia Keys and Brandy Carlisle. Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. Fight for You by her. Happier Than Ever by William Eyelash. Kiss Me More by Doja Cat. Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic. Montero by Lil Nas X. Peaches by Justin Bieber. And another Brandy Carlisle song, Right on Time. What do you think of this list? And do you have a pick?
Yeah, this is a tough one here. Definitely Montero. Montero, I don't really like that song. I don't think it's a bad song. I just every time I heard it on the radio, it just got played so much, so I get why it's on there. But I definitely think
Right.
that Industry Baby is a way better song than Montero.
Yes.
Um, Peaches definitely not going to win, but it's a good song. Leave the Door Open, definitely not going to win, but it's a good song. Kiss Me More,
Great song.
great song. I could kind of put an asterisk near that, see if you can hold on to that one. Fight for You, that's a good song too. Driver's License, obviously you could have started next to that. That could easily take it. A Beautiful Noise, didn't listen to it. Did you listen to that song?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. It's just like, why was this on here? Not really sure why. Brandy Carlisle is up and coming, and she's at Elektra Records, so I have respect
Yeah,
for her. But it has under 5 million plays on Spotify.
yeah,
It's just like how it like when you were talking song of the year, like you can't go edgy, like you know what I mean. Like it should be a song that we all like Peaches, Montero, Leave the Door Open. These are all like massive hits, and
yeah,
they deserve to be on there. Unless it's like a meaningful song, or like it's like kind of like Fight for You. Like is this? There's some weird
yeah.
choices on
And
here. I'm kind of with you.
no rap songs either. Like not one.
Well, Drake had so many huge songs that you could have put on here too. Like, it's just
Yeah,
weird how they kind of iced out Drake and like we're so inclusive of Kanye. Um, that was kind
yeah,
of strange to me. Shout out my boy Ed Sheeran for making the list. And, well, considering that he kind of dropped a not so listened to album,
yeah.
still found a
uh,
way to make an undeniable banger. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you here. I think there are definitely some songs left out. That's a good call on Lil Nas X. I think even Holiday is better than Call Me by Your Name. But um, yeah, I love that. I do like that song though, so I don't mind that it's there. It has over 1 billion plays, so it's definitely popular. If I was to pick from this list, because song of the year is tough. Like I don't really have anything I'd add. Um, I think the top two. I just think "Leave the Door Open" is such a beautiful song that, and it had the numbers. I think
hmm,
like that would be my pick if I had to vote. What do you think?
interesting. If I had to vote, I think I would pick. I think I would pick "Kiss Me More." Yeah, yeah.
That
I
would be my
love that
number
song.
two.
I think that
It's a
song.
great song.
I wish that it didn't come out during a time where, and I guess this is kind of like with all music right now. It's still a time where like we haven't fully gone back to like everyone's outside, and I feel like "Kiss Me More" would have been a great summer banger, barbecue banger. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when you're out and like you're with friends and people, and you know what I mean. You're just trying to get that. There's that chick. And you're young and
yeah,
you're feeling good. You know what I mean. You're trying to get a little bit of that. You know what I mean. A little bit of that Sunset Boulevard in your life. You know what I mean. A little bit of them peaches. Yeah, that would have been great to be able to experience that. Um, so yeah,
yeah.
but who do I think they're going to give it to? Probably
Oh,
Montero. I think either Montero or Driver's License. That's who they're going to pick.
yeah. That's who they'll give it to. Yeah. Um, Man, because driver's license really was at the
Yeah, how
top
many
for a
streams does
while.
that have? Driver's License. That must have like all the streams.
It definitely has over 1 billion without even looking at it. But let's see. That song was so popular. Yeah, even has more than Montero.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's crazy. She's so young, and like I saw this weird video. People are like kind of judging her. Oh, "Good for You" is also a really popular song. That's right. So this song really has 2 billion play songs. Pretty incredible for
Mm.
someone that young. Um, so yeah, oh yeah, this album did better numbers than I remember. Honestly, looking at it now, um, so that's a good lead into the category we all care about the most: album of the year. Let's go over the nominees. The first one, the first two, very questionable. "We Are" by John Batiste. I mean, wow. "We Are" by John Batiste. "Love for Sale" by Tony Bennett. Congrats to him for still being out there. Anyway, I'll say these again. We Are by John Batiste. "Love for Sale" by Tony Bennett. "Justice" by Justin Bieber. It's such a dumb name.
Wait, don't
Justice by
forget Lady
Justin Bieber.
Gaga. Don't forget Lady
Oh,
Gaga
yes.
and
Sorry.
Love
All
for
right.
Sale.
All right. One more
Very
time. I'll get it right.
sexist of you, Ginger. Very sexist of you.
It's more like reading out loud is a struggle. I'll try and get through this out laughing or making comments. All right. We Are by John Batiste. Love for Sale by Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Justice by Justin Bieber. And not just any version, the Triple Chucks Deluxe, David, don't forget. Doja Cat, Planet Her. Happier Than Ever, William Eyelash. Back of My Mind by Her. Congrats to her. Lil Nas X's Montero. Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. Evermore by Taylor Swift, which did not come out this year. And Donda by Kanye West. And for the listener, yes, they have expanded the category from 8 albums to 10 albums this year, so there are more albums than usual. What did you think of this list?
Yeah, definitely didn't listen to Love for Sale. Missed out on that. Didn't listen to We Are. Um, I'll just get straight. I'll just get straight to it here. Donda's not going to win because it's going to win best hip hop rap album, and then Olivia Rodrigo is going to win album of the year. Because dude, does she have competition here? We know she's not. We know Doja Cat's not going to beat her. We know Billy. Or do you think she has a chance? Do you think Doja has a chance?
Oh no. You asked if she got competition. I just think out loud. You can go ahead.
Yeah, Billie Eilish. I don't think any Happier Than Ever. I don't think it bumped big enough. Montero is maybe the realest competition, and then Evermore, and then Evermore. I like you said, it's not even a new album. So like, if Taylor Swift won that, then she'd be cheating. She'd be a cheater.
Well, she is that.
Dude, imagine if Olivia Rodrigo storms the stage and takes the mic from Taylor when she wins.
No, Kanye will do it. I'd be like, I'm gonna let you finish, but Driver's License is the best song of all time. That song got me through so much, huh? No, you're right. They will never give it to Donda, and they basically picked it for Rap Album of the Year, so they wouldn't do both. Taylor Swift, I mean, what a mess. I don't know why she's on here, but I feel like they just couldn't help themselves. There's 2 albums that just don't even make sense on here, and we'll get into who I think should be on there because I do have my own list. But We Are by John Batiste. I mean, what are we doing? Come on, guys. It's just silly. Like, no song on that album. Like, no one's in the car with their friends like, yo, like, where's John Batiste? I need that freedom. Like, all this crap. All right, nobody listens to that shit. All right, we're not listening to that. Love for Sale, like, what's happening to Tony Bennett's kind of sad, so I don't want to bash that pick too hard because it's pretty incredible that he's, like, making music and, well, him and Lady Gaga are doing, I guess, are cool, but, like, it's a sympathy pick, and it just shouldn't be on here. But I actually agree with most of the other choices. I'm not a Billie Eilish fan, so that's kind of one I wouldn't like. Sour, I understand, and Justice, I understand. The others I actually have on my list. I have Planet Her, I have Back of My Mind, I have Montero, and I have Donda. So I think all those are deserving. But you're right, Sour is a lock to win. And looking at the numbers, I was pretty surprised that it did that well. I knew it was a popular album, but I was pretty shocked at how popular it was. So I think that, and, you know, I have a theory that these Grammy voters are a lot of older white gentlemen, and they get a lot of their ideas from their daughters and granddaughters when they come to picking these.
A theory? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some would call it a fact, but it's okay. So, I think Lil Nas X can really challenge it, but like I just don't know if they're ready to give it to him just yet.
Yeah,
I think they're not there. They're not there yet.
No, yeah, can't have a
Maybe
little
they'll throw
can't
in
have a
that
twink.
bone of Song of the Year.
Yeah, can't have a twink who dances on the devil yet. You know what I mean? The
Yeah, they kind of want that to like go away a little more. They kind of want that to go away a little before they give it to him. Um,
What's
any other
happening to
thoughts on this?
America? Little Nas X, what? Best album of the
I will never wear Nike again because of this fucking guy.
year.
Burn my Nikes. Not because of sweatshop labor. That's cool though.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's our Grammys take there. Do you want to, Jake? Do you want to do a real quick? This might be a little shorter episode because of a time frame here, but we're
Wait,
gonna give you
let's
guys. Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna give you my albums of the year. I think I'm
Oh yeah.
ready. The only issue I have with this, and this issue I have with one of the issues I have with the Grammys is that the year's not done yet, and there's still some albums that could come out. Like Khalid's literally dropping an album next week that could easily be on here, but um, this would have been tough because I have a solid 6 in here that I think are locks to be albums of the year. Um, so it was hard to come up with 8 because I had 2 I wanted on and like whatever. But once they expanded to 10, I'm like, oh well, that made my life easier. I don't have to choose anymore. So this is my list. I'll start from bottom to top. Um, I think these first 4 are pretty interchangeable in the name. So I'll start off with number 10. I'll go with The Off Season by J. Cole. I'm with you, David. This album should have been a lot better. It's just forgettable. At the time, it was great, but it's like it's short, and once you listen to all the songs, it's like, all right, I'm kind of moving on now. So, but I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the album. Easily a top 10, 5 to 10 album of the year, in my opinion. Lots of bangers, lots of good stuff. Number 9, I'll go Back of Your Mind by her. Underrated album, lots of good songs. If you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. There's a lot of really popular songs and a lot of, edgier songs as well. It's very romantic and whatnot. Number 7, sorry, no, not number 7. Number 8, I have Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Great album, but kind of came out late, and I think it was a little underwhelming. I think everyone was a little disappointed that it was only like 8 songs.
Yeah, it's only like a
and they released like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Was that?
It's only like 30 minutes, the album.
Yeah, that's just not good enough for the hype that it had. But every song on there is pretty quality, so it's a little quality over quantity. It's easily the shortest album on my list. All these albums I have are pretty long, actually. This is probably the year of the long album, wouldn't you say? A lot of these are nearly 15 to 20 songs each, huh?
Yeah, long albums are definitely making a bit of a comeback right now, for sure.
I'm cool with that, but like, if it takes you longer to make, then I'm kind of against it. It's like, and it's weird that like an album this short took this long to come out, but I'm glad it did because it's a great album and easily on my list for album of the year. I'm not sure what the Grammys are doing. Planet Her by Doja Cat is my number 7. Really good album, and when you look over it, there's just more and more bangers that pop up, and I had it as an honorable mention at first, but it's just like you can't. There's great features on it. It's a fun album, and Doja Cat's really on the rise. So that 4 is pretty interchangeable. My next 6, I'm pretty happy with the order here. A lot of you are going to think this is pretty low, but I actually have Donda at number 6. I think it's a great album, but I think there's a lot of garbage on there as well that people don't want to remember. And the album is definitely about 10 songs too long, as we mentioned in our review of this album. It's just like a little overrated, but still a great album. So has to be on the list, and we talked about it extensively. A Gangsta's Pain, number 5 for me. Love this album. Perfect gym album. Moneybagg Yo is certainly on the rise. Lots of bangers on here. Lots of really popular songs, and we both agree this should have made Rap Album of the Year. At least the list for sure. Number 4, Forgotten Album for sure, and we covered this already. Life of a Don by Don Toliver. I liked it more and more as I've listened to it. There's just more and more great songs. Obviously, Bogus is number 1 for both of us, and there's just a lot of great tracks on it. There's really only a few misses, like when you really look it over. So I just think he did a great job, and I'm not surprised he didn't get any love, but it is what it is. It's a great album. Number three, you're gonna hate this one. Culture 3 by Migos. I listen to this album nonstop. I'm constantly coming back to it, and there's three huge bangers on here. Even though I don't like Straightening, even you would have to agree that it's one of the most popular songs of the year. Having Our Way with Drake was a great song, and of course, Avalanche is a song we've talked about already, and a song that I just adore. No homo. But anyway, great album. And there's a lot of sneaky good songs on here too. Some of the titles are a little lame, and there's definitely some cornball, cheeseball stuff on here, which is a shame. But you know, you just kind of weed your way through this album, and there's a lot of stuff to like on here. I constantly am listening to it. When we go through our Spotify, what's it called, David? Spotify rewinds.
Year in review, I think.
Yeah, we'll do that on the pod. I think we'll reveal it. That'd be fun. Yeah. But you will definitely be seeing that on mine. Number two, Montero by Lil Nas X. I think this is a really good album, and I think it's a little slept on just because, like, I think people kind of just forgot it came out once all the singles were released, because, like, those are by far the best songs on here. That's What I Want was, like, really the only major song that came out on here, but there's a lot of sneaky really good songs on here too. I like the song with Megan Thee Stallion a lot. He has an Elton John song which kind of fits the bill. The only kind of dud on this album is the one with Doja Cat. That was a surprise that song kind of didn't really hit, and you can see it in the numbers that people weren't really feeling it. But you know, I mean, what are you talking about here? You got Industry Baby and Montero. I mean, those are two of the biggest songs of the whole year. People seem to like Sun Goes Down too. And then number one, we talked about it. It's my album of the year, as well as rap album of the year, Certified Lover Boy. I just think that there's kind of a gap between this album and really any other album you want to throw out there, in my opinion. Just banger after banger. It broke every record, but that's every Drake album, so that's not fair. But like, I just think there was just so much heat coming off this album, and you know, if you get past some of the cornier stuff on here, you really see like that this album is really a cool project, and I'm not really sure why it's getting so much hate. Maybe just because Drake is kind of like the LeBron of rap in a lot of ways, and anything he does will kind of get scrutinized. So yeah, I love this album. Find myself constantly listening to it, and I think I'm discovering more and more songs I do like on here. So that's my list for this year. But I reserved a right to add Khalid's album when it drops, because it will be banging, as always. So
yeah, interesting that there was no I guess Adele didn't send in her album.
Oh, dude, thank God. She's
oh, dude, I'm a big Adele fan, bro. Oh man, I love me some Adele.
Did she drop an album?
You know that she's with LeBron's guy right now. LeBron's manager, what's his name? Rich whatever.
Oh, Rich Paul. I thought you were gonna say Maverick Carter.
No. Yeah, she's with Rich Paul right now. Anyways, yeah, I'm a big Adele fan, but I guess maybe she'll be in next year. I don't know how that works.
Oh, you know they'll include her. They give Adele the Grammy. But like every Adele album is like similar to me. It's like she'll release like one single that is super popular, and then the rest of the album is like mid. And it's like, here you go, album of the year.
Okay. Well, we're a little short on time for this episode, guys, but we're going to be giving you a double feature of episodes here soon, a little Thanksgiving special, you know, something you can listen to when you're with your family that you hate. And you can just throw in your headphones and zone out to some Ginger and Soul while you drink yourself and eat yourself into oblivion. But yeah, I guess we could just quickly go over our teams in the NFL here. Obviously, the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any question about that. Who is Mac Jones? About to take that.
David Bayless.
About to take that AFC. We already took the AFC East. Obviously we have to play the Bills twice, so we're going to see how that goes, and we have to play the Titans next week. So it's going to be a challenge here, but Pats are looking good. The rest of the AFC is kind of, I don't know. I don't know if teams have kind of collapsed last Sunday. So I don't know if you want to give your quick Chargers take. Ginger was at the game. So yeah, give us
Yeah, but
that experience.
yeah, for sure. Let me first talk about your little Patriots take there, because you've brought this up when they played the Panthers, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be that trap game." No, 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 no. This is the trap game against the Titans. I already know. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Patriots, the Patriots, Patriots." Um, and they're like, "Oh, all we have to do is beat the Bills." See how you brought up the Bills before the Titans? Everyone's already overlooking the Titans because, like, oh, no, Derrick Henry, we're at home. This is gonna be home cooking, and what's gonna happen? Patriots are gonna fall right on their face and lose to fucking Ryan Tannehill at home, and
Yeah, yeah.
then that's what's gonna happen.
Now that the Patriots are winning, now the Patriots haters have to come out of the shadows because all the Patriots
This is
haters,
the
they were
classic
feeling
trap
good.
game coming up here.
All the Patriots
I'm
haters,
telling
they were
you.
feeling good. They were feeling good all year. There was no Patriots hate. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Patriots, they're rebuilding. Nothing to worry about." But now it's coming back. It's rolling back in, baby. Love to see it.
The reason why I see this as a Patriot trap game here is because you guys are looking at the Bills. You're like, oh, Titans are nothing. Like, we're going to take number one seed in the AFC. Like, this is when it happens. I'm telling you. But I like what the Patriots are doing. Well, actually, I don't because fuck the Patriots. But, like, they are playing really well right now. I just think they're looking ahead, as a lot of teams will do. And Vrabel knows how to beat you fucking guys. But we'll see what happens. I think the Patriots are a wild card lock. Moving on to the Chargers. We were kicking the shit out of the Steelers. I'm not gonna lie, they were talking big shit, and the image that is just so funny to me, David, because there are a lot of Steelers fans there. I won't deny it, but like, this is like when the Steelers are like, I don't know, like as a Steeler fan, like they have all the terrible towels or whatever. Like that's really real. And the image to me of them like packing for a trip to Los Angeles is just so hilarious. They're like, all right, packing my clothes. I'll bring a pair of sandals, pair of trunks for the beach. All right, here's my little Steelers jersey, Big Ben, whatever. Oh, and can't forget my terrible yellow towel. Oh, and they like fold it up with like their shoes. Let's just put it in. And wow, David. They were really loud at first, I'll give them that, and then they got super quiet. Charger Stadium was rolling, rocking. Sure was. And everyone was like, wow, the Chargers really do have fans, especially on the last play of the game, which I'll get into in a second. So the Chargers are up huge, and me and my dad are like, well, we should probably figure out how we're going to get out of here. And then, of course, some foolery happens with a little officiating, but also a little Charger, typical Charger BS that goes on in a Charger game. What happens? Chargers punt the ball away, and then there's some magical phantom penalty making them punt again, and what happens? Block punt. Steelers at the 1 yard line. Oh, God damn it. Then we stop them. We stop them on 4th and goal, and they call a phantom PI that just was invisible. And then the Patriots get the ball 1st and goal at the 1 again. They got 4 tries and couldn't score, and it's like the refs are like, nope, you guys are covering, whether you like it or not. And they're like, all right, we're going to score now. So they score. And then we get the ball back up 7. Herbert throws it off some dude's helmet, and it goes, I've never seen this in my life. It went so high up in the air, and a Steeler player intercepted it at like the 10. They get the touchdown to tie. Now, what happens on the next drive? Steelers get the stop, so the Chargers at their own 30 are like, it's 4th and inches. Let's go for it, baby. And they did not pick up the 1st down at all. The Steelers did not manage this drive well because they should have ran more clock. But we did stop them. Our defense, much maligned, and rightfully so, as the worst run defense in the league, only held Najee to like 45 to 50 yards, I believe. He did get injured, so, that was a little controversial. Steelers fans, of course, cried about that, but like we're defending Cam Hayward for punching Herbert in the chest. I've never seen that before in my life. Anyway, so Steelers go up 3, but the light-skinned Michael Vick baby gets the ball back. Only quarterback to throw for over 350 yards and to run for 90. Light Vick baby crushed it. And who breaks open for another iconic Charger primetime moment? Mike Williams just walks into the end zone. A Steeler tried to tackle him at the end, shakes him off like he's nothing, Pay that man, Mike Williams. I was thinking we'd let him go at first. Bolt gang, baby. We're back in first place in the AFC West. And we're coming for the Patriots. Y'all got lucky as fuck when you beat us. All right. Those picks were bullshit. We're coming for you guys. We're coming for the top of the AFC. All right. We crushed the Steelers. Don't let the score fool you. Daddy Herbert's giving it to all y'all this year. All right. Torching everybody in his wake. And we're going to win. You guys, I hope you guys take the division so we can go into Gillette and win in our house, that house of horrors, and just end that shit and just make you guys feel a little bit of the pain y'all been dishing out a little bit here. That's what I hope, because if we play you guys at SoFi, you'll pack the house or whatever and be like, oh, there's no Charger fans. There's someone in a Patriot hat in the fifth row. And a very painful moment, I will say. I was sitting there next to these Steelers fans after they got the ball back and they're all excited. And I was sitting in my chair just stunned. And if you feel the whoosh of that terrible towel over my head, I was like, oh, this is awful. This is the worst fucking feeling on the planet. And so glad we won. I was getting hype. I was like, the Steelers
I wonder
fans.
if this has to be the first time in a while that Chargers and Patriots are leading division at the same time. It has to be.
No, because people forget, like, we've had some good runs. Like, we have had good runs, and you guys just, like, a couple of years we could have, really went far in the playoffs, but we had to play y'all, and it's tough. You guys had some really good teams.
Yeah.
People don't like to give you guys credit, but, like, it's not just Tom Brady. Like, playing Bill Belichick is what makes it so hard to beat y'all, because he's so smart. And Brady's obviously tough in his own right, but it's just like that combo.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to beat the Patriots. And then not to mention the Steelers were around, and the Ravens, and the Colts had Peyton Manning, and then the Broncos had Peyton Manning. It's just like, it's treacherous out here in the AFC. The NFC just doesn't understand.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, the kid has to head out, but thanks for tuning into this episode. Next episode, we'll give you more basketball, lots of basketball to talk about, more football to talk about. What else? Are there any big events?
The Lakers anymore.
Yeah.
we don't talk about them.
Yeah, we'll give the Lakers a little time. But thanks for tuning into the Ginger and
Soul Podcast, baby.
All right.
Next week.
Peace out.